Pickaxe.
Hello and welcome to YOMP! Yes, this is YOMP. It's an acronym. It's Ye Old Movie Podcast. We like to talk about films that we randomly select from lists that we make. Who is we? Well, we is me, Simon Darney Chumandi Olane, and I am joined by the fragrant G-Star Games.
Hello, you weren't so sure there. You were like, is she here? I don't know. I am.
Meine Überliebchen.
She's here in body and not in mind.
Yes, mein Fraulein. Yes, hello. Welcome to today's episode of Ye Old Movie Podcast. And joined by me is the ever fragrant to the power of two, Booth.
Hello, it's me, Sophia Graham Booth, and I'm joined by Simon and G-Star Games, and we're talking about films. It's all happening. It's all going on.
Yep.
Oh, it's all go today, isn't it?
It's all go. Well, Simon's had a
is.
bit of a morning, so
We're not going to go into that. We're not going to go into details.
No, please do.
With my delivery order.
Please do.
My cakes didn't arrive. They had to come in a special order. It took half an hour. And I'm angry about it. Because I'm a baby. There we go. That sums it up. When I say it out loud, it sounds fucking stupid.
no,
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
it's fine because if you order
It's like I
a
got a
certain...
devil and an angel on my shoulders.
no.
No.
If you order something specific and it doesn't turn up, and you're banking on having this nice frappe, and it doesn't turn up, and the order's all messed up, and
Or
you
a
need to explain it.
Nice bit of bag cake.
Bag cake, and
Oh,
it's just like, that all it sets the mood wrong. You need to have it. You need to have
does.
it right, and
It is annoying,
I
to be fair.
understand.
I need something to improve my mood. Maybe talk about like a really good film that we have watched.
Don't even.
We could do, but
Yeah.
we could talk
but
about
unfortunately,
cake. a bit more.
That's not today.
Unfortunately, that's not today. We're going to be talking about Iron Sky.
Huzzah.
It's a Simon pick.
Yep.
It's a Simon pick. That's me.
Yep.
That's
It's Simon.
you.
I'm responsible
He is
for us
responsible.
having watched this.
I worked
I remember this.
so long
Oh,
yesterday. And
Oh, Jesus.
I was like just working
Oh,
all
no.
day, and then I finished my stream, and I was
Yeah.
like, okay, go shower, go, get some
Mhm.
food,
Go piss, girl.
go piss,
Piss
girl.
girl.
And then I'm like, oh god, I gotta go watch a movie about fucking Nazis and make notes for like an hour and a half. Although somehow the copy that I found was an hour and 50 question mark. I
Did
don't-
you watch the thing that I told you not to watch, the Dictator's Cut?
Perhaps.
Oh.
Yes.
Great. That's
So G will be chiming in with things that nobody else has seen.
Maybe some
Yeah.
people would have seen her. Who knows?
You're going to be confused when I just move on to the next scene, and you'll be like, no, wait, no, you're missing the bit. You're missing the...
It's fine.
You're
I
missing the
wasn't.
whole point.
I wasn't. I mean, I was paying attention, but like, oh my god, some scenes, man.
A great film.
Yeah.
So why did you pick it, Simon?
Yeah.
Tell us.
Why did I pick this? I watched this a long time ago.
Mhm.
Probably not long after it came out. So 10 years ago.
Okay.
And I thought it was fairly good. A good sort of light-hearted romp
What?
involving Nazis on the moon.
Hmm.
And I remember like the CG being really good, and there being like epic fights,
Mhm.
and there being hot women in it. And I was like, this will be great. A light-hearted, fun little film. I mean, it's, it's fairly light-hearted, right? Right?
Ooh.
I'd say yeah.
Yeah.
I'd say it was like, yeah, it's just a laugh, that.
A bit of fun.
It treads into like Tropic Thunder territory where it's very satirical.
It is indeed a satire, a science fiction satire spectacular.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish it had been any other film on my list.
We're off to such a strong start today.
By the way, I've replaced it with Doom, the 2005 Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson movie. The adaptation of the video game. Dwayne.
I haven't seen
Drain the Cock Johnson.
Oh dear.
Oh yeah, I've never seen that either, so that should be.
That's on my list. I've watched it, I think, 3 times, and it's so funny. I love it. Carl Urban's in it. I always forget.
Oh, I do like Carl Urban in.
And Dexter Fletcher is in it as well.
What's that movie?
Sophie.
Okay.
She doesn't know who he is.
I don't know who that is. Listen, I've got face and name blindness. You could say anything.
Christ. How can you tell me and G apart?
I can't. I just guess. Okay. If I saw you two in the same, them pictures of you together, I don't know who you are. I don't know which one's which. I'm just going, wow, you both look beautiful and very handsome also. You're looking great.
We're just pink blobs with hair on.
You're like the Mighty Boosh when Noel Fielding as Vince Noir paints Howard Moon and it just looks like a sort of pink balloon.
Oh my god!
Another very
I'm sure
niche
everyone
reference.
gets that reference.
Niche one.
Maybe they do.
Maybe they do.
Oh,
all I remember is old Greg.
I'm old Greg.
There's some British listeners who probably are very fond of the Mighty Boosh.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. And also maybe some foreign friends abroad who also enjoy watching stupid British comedy. God, I've got such bad flea bites on my legs. Oh my god.
Oh no, she's got fleas.
I've got really bad fleas. I woke up this morning, I opened my eyes and there was a flea on the bed next to me and I grabbed it, I pinched it and I put it in a cup of water next to my bed that I have for this exact fucking reason.
Oh,
because we have such bad fleas, me and the cat.
Do you have another cup of water that's your night water that you drink?
I do.
So you have 2, and they're in identical cups as well.
Yeah. One's got the fleas, one's got the refreshing water.
That's a dangerous game to play. Very dangerous.
It's good, isn't it?
Yeah, but
oh my God.
I don't know. If you've got cats, you wouldn't have a cup that's open, I guess, because I have a flask, and I think
I do have a flask. I do, but I also have a little teacup on the floor that is filled with mineral water for the cats to drink out of because Candice and Brenda, they love to have a little drink of water. And
mineral water?
Yeah, well, tap water's not, it smells a bit chlorinated here, So I'd spoil them. I love them.
I learned about that the other day. Apparently in the north, what is it? That's in the water. It's
we've got all sorts of germs.
They put chemicals in the water to turn the cats gay.
Yes,
and that's why Brenda has to drink mineral water. So she doesn't become a lesbian cat.
She could be a lesbian for all I know. She's very ambiguous in that sense. She hates all other cats, so
she's ace.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah.
I did spay her, so I assume so.
Oh my god.
Well, there you go.
Jesus.
Bye womb. That's what I'd said to Candice when she got spayed. I was like, it's all going away.
We've started the podcast. Have you forgot?
Oh my god. Yeah. This sounds like. So just for anyone who doesn't know, we get in the call an hour before and we go on for an hour before we actually start recording.
Yeah. So
we get it out of our system.
Today's been a bit hectic.
Yeah.
A lot's been going on and, so it's all sort of leaking over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm leaking
That's
everywhere.
good. I'm sure people will appreciate 5 minutes of cat chat more than an extra 5 minutes of talking about Iron Sky.
Yeah.
Honestly, I might be able to fit a bit more in at the end as well if people want that.
Okay, everyone, make sure that you're subscribed to Cat Facts.
Cat fact.
Cat fact: Candice Marie only has 3 legs.
That is the best cat fact. She's so cute. I love her so much.
She's a baby.
She is adorable and she's beautiful.
She came in and just stared at me when I was making her coffee this morning, and I was like, oh, I don't know what to give her because she doesn't really eat cat food properly. She likes to lick all the gravy off it.
Ezio's a gravy fiend as well.
Gravy fiend. What is wrong with you? Eat your dinners. And I just gave her the cat pepperonis. The chewy stick.
Yeah.
Mum calls them chonky sticks because Chonky loves them as well.
Oh, chonky.
Chonky stick. I call them cat pepperonis. And
I call pizza Simon bread.
Simon. I love Simon bread.
Oh.
You should call the crackers Sophie Thins. Sophie. Just call them Sophies.
Sophie Thins.
Don't call
Sophies.
a cracker Sophie though, because that's.
You can call Sophie a cracker. She doesn't lie.
That's another
That's fine.
conversation.
All right, Iron Sky. Jesus. Okay, so
Yeah, we're
let's
gonna need
start.
him. We're gonna need it.
Let's go.
Jesus. Plex kept crashing for me on my Fire TV stick. Fire TV stick then started crashing.
Oh no, that's so bad because you've only just gotten it, and
well, I did have it before, but I've just been connected to my friend Alan's account. Thank you, Alan. Big shout out. Sorry, Alan. Alan's going to be right. Alan's a cheeky bugger because he looks at what I've been watching on my Plex account.
He's a peeper.
He's a peeper. He likes to look at what people have been watching and judge them for it. So he's going to see that I've seen Iron Sky, and he's going to be like, Sophie, for fuck's sake.
So for fun fact, Iron Sky was actually free on Plex with ads. Yeah.
So it kept crashing after the ads. So I assumed that it wanted to just make me watch the same ads, and then I came and sat at my PC to watch it on Plex. So it's fine.
Okay. Well, there's a known issue with Plex on the Fire Stick. So for some reason, it just has its moments, and when it does, you just go into the settings and like clear the cache, clear all the stuff, and try to restart.
But I think my Fire TV stick's dead old because my telly is dead old in my bedroom.
I see.
I got it for my 21st birthday from my dad.
Oh my
Holy
god, that's like
shit.
20 years ago.
Yes, it's really old. It's a big chunky, in inverted commas, flat screen. I remember getting it because I was so excited to have a telly in my room at my dad's flat.
Might be time for an upgrade.
I think so. Yeah. I'm going to wait until it breaks because that's the way that I roll. If you can't tell by the amount
fair, honestly. Like,
shit in my house.
No, that's fair because it's like super wasteful sometimes when something is still working perfectly fine. Like I have a headset that the sort of the padding at the top where the band goes, so that like fell apart and it just looks so like just grim. But the headset still works perfecly fine. But
you could just tape a sponge to it.
Well, this is a funny thing.
Scrub daddy.
Scrub daddy.
This is the funny thing. So I took off the faux like leather that was covering the sponge. So when I'm using the headset, I just put the sponge on my head.
Yes.
The headset.
Oh my god.
I mean, I don't want to throw it out. It's super wasteful. I'm not going to be
It's
like,
very
oh,
wasteful.
the sponge is gone and stuff.
I did donate my old TV to the British Heart Foundation.
You did do that. You did.
And they picked
And you
it up.
couldn't
And
find the remote.
I couldn't find the remote. And then they came back, and then I got a letter saying they sold it, and I raised £65 for.
Oh,
which
nicely,
is very, very
well
good.
done.
So
nicely done.
that's what at least I'll try and find somewhere to donate all my old stuff.
Yeah, no, that's good. That's super, like, yeah, that's not being wasteful. Oh, what are you
Yeah.
going to do with your old phone? Backup?
Oh,
Question mark?
well, I'm gonna put. I'm now using it as a business phone.
Business.
Business, because
Okay.
now when I had a big palaver, we're not talking about Iron Sky today. We're talking about how hard it is to get paid by Twitch if you do certain brand deals.
This is like the Red Letter Media episode about the Star Wars Holiday Special before the real one.
I like that one. That was really good. But if I signed up for a Virgin Media package deal with a SIM card, it came out as cheaper than what I was already paying. So I was on the phone for like 3 hours with somebody to try and get that sorted. And I was like, well, I've got a SIM card now, so I might as well use it as a business phone.
Yeah.
That one. So I was trying not to lose this tiny little SIM card for a few weeks. Trying not to accidentally eat it. Because that was my intrusive thought about SIM cards. What if I eat this?
You're like that little
What happens
crunchy.
if you eat it?
It's gone. It's gone. I'm not getting it back.
What do you mean what happens if you eat it? Like what?
It must go through and come out the other end, right?
Well, yeah,
What,
but I'm not gonna.
intact?
I'm not. I mean, to be fair, stomach acid would probably damage it even a little bit. But also, I'm not digging around for it personally.
Yeah, she's not one of those fucking monkeys that passes coffee beans through
civets.
her. Civets.
And little cats. I'm not a
Jesus.
civet.
Yeah, like
Simon, I am not a civet for the last time.
Are you sure, though?
No.
Got similar eyes.
Oh,
Damn.
damn.
All right.
Iron Sky. Simon.
Iron Sky, yes. Are we gonna actually? Okay, we are actually gonna talk about
We're
it.
talking about
We
it. Yeah.
have
We
to.
have to.
People.
Yeah.
Well, you made
Don't we?
people watch this. You made us
That's
watch
true.
this. You made
That's true.
everybody, every single person who listens to this podcast has watched it.
Yeah, guaranteed.
I'm sure we'll have some fond memories of watching it, and we'll point out some funny moments as we go.
Mm-hmm.
The year is 2018, and America has returned to the moon.
It's the year that Simon got his last upgrade on his phone.
I was gonna say.
You motherfuckers! You motherfuckers! I knew I shouldn't have shared that with you.
Simon shares any information, and we're just going to lambast him for the rest of the podcast.
Nothing wrong with having the same phone for 5 years, 5.5 years.
There's
There's absolutely nothing wrong with that.
When you said 2018, I was like, yeah, that's 2 years ago. That's pretty decent, right?
Oh god!
I don't know what year it is anymore.
What year is it? Well, it's 2018. And the current president of the United States of America, a lady, is she's sent some astronauts to the moon to do some political advertising for her for re-election.
Well,
Mm-hmm.
there's two reasons. One, by the way, she's basically Sarah Palin.
Yes.
So yeah, she's gone to the dark side of the moon. There's 2 astronauts in the lander that land there, and one is just to promote her re-election bid, and 2 is to find helium-3, a fuel that may be on the moon.
Mm.
And one of the guys has got a scanner, Sanders. He's not important because he dies almost immediately. He's scanning for helium-3. He finds a whole bunch of it, and he looks over a rock, and there's just a giant mine, and trucks driving around, and like a refinery there, and a big storage thing that says helium-3 on the side.
And
So
it's in a font that is like the German
the
font.
Fracture.
Ah.
The Fracture typeface, yes. Which everyone knows what it looks like. Yes, the one the Nazis used. I'm sure that doesn't mean anything, though. I'm sure it doesn't mean anything. The other astronaut is Washington. And, oh, by the way, helium-3, that's a MacGuffin. That's like an actual MacGuffin. G-Star Games.
Okay.
Okay, so Sanders like yells. Well, he doesn't yell. He just says on the radio to Washington that there's like a mine, like an actual mine on the moon, on the dark side of the moon, and he just gets shot in the head by a space Nazi. He's wearing it's a pretty badass looking outfit they have. Their space outfits, the masks and stuff.
They're like the gas masks that they used to.
Yeah.
I was like I felt really weird about like thinking that because I was like, they kind of look cool. But I'm like, no, they're Nazis. Stop. They're not. Stop. They don't look cool. Stop.
They always dressed well because of Hugo Boss.
Hugo Boss. Thank you so much, Hugo Boss.
Very cool, Hugo Boss.
The Nazis also brought us Fanta.
Did they?
Yeah, but it wasn't the Fanta that we have today.
No.
The Fanta we have today comes from Italy, and it uses a completely different recipe.
Okay.
So I don't think it makes a difference. We'd still have Fanta, but it would be called by a different name. Anyway, the moon lander is blown up by an RPG wielded by the space Nazis, and Paul Washington kind of passes out. He comes to, and he's just surrounded by them all, just aiming their weapons at him, and he's then driven away on a motorbike in the sidecar, presumably, which is very sort of 1940s style.
That's cool.
And they're driving along what I guess is a space Autobahn, the German motorway. And the camera sort of follows it, and there's also a train, I think. And the camera looks at a fortress. It's all pretty good CG, I thought.
It's actually not bad, like for 2012, not that bad. Kind of impressive.
It's not bad at all.
Yeah.
Considering the budget as well. But the camera moves above this fortress, and it's revealed that it's laid out in the shape of a swastika. A giant swastika fortress on the dark side of the moon. Wonderful. And we meet a teacher. She's standing before her class of little babby children, and it's 5 minutes 15 seconds into the movie we get our first Heil Hitler, our Nazi salute, which just we get a few more for the course of the movie. A really good one near the end. Oh, a real good one.
Oh my god!
Unironically,
yeah.
It's kind of the payoff.
It is.
And she is the Mondjugendunterführerin.
Yes.
Who is the Moon Youth Subleader. Of course, Germans, they love just sticking a whole bunch of words together to make a new word.
They do. They really do.
That is unironically such a cool language.
German language is nice. Like
Mondjugendunterführerin.
Yeah,
sure. You got to say it like a German as well, haven't you? So she's speaking in German, of course she is, to her students, but then she says that they're going to switch to the most unpatriotic language, then she starts speaking in English.
Yeah, I knew. As soon as she started saying the most unpatriotic, I was like, here we go. This is where the English comes in.
She asked the children a series of questions. Where are we from? The Earth! When did we leave? 1945! And where did we go? The dark side of the moon! So that clears up the audience.
I thought that this was a very quick and easy way to get our exposition.
Yes.
Yeah.
Bam. Get a lot of kids to recite things for some reason. For no reason, really. Like, that's not going to be a thing that they need to remind themselves.
They do it every morning.
True, yeah. It's like
and in English, no less, as well.
Oh, my God. So we have Washington, our astronaut, is dropped off from the sidecar, and we hear the national anthem, and it's not the Radiohead song. It's also not the famous German one that we know that goes Deutschland, Deutschland, über alles in der Welt. It's the bad one. It's the one the Nazis used. Horst Wessel Lied. It's
Is it just
horses?
It's a song that if you hear, you should just a shiver should go down your spine.
I keep hearing the there's like a sound that keeps being played on like TikTok and Instagram, and every time it's like,
oh no.
no, I don't know, maybe Boof has seen it. Like it's sometimes like when there's a cat that looks like Hitler. And then they put the fucking
God.
like German music over it.
Yeah, I bet you they play the wrong one. I bet you they play like.
I think it's Deutschland.
Yeah.
It's the one
They
that starts
play,
off with "Oh, if I da 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 da." That one.
Deutschlandlied.
Maybe
They play instead of Horst Wessel-Lied. Anyway, out of a car comes a lovely limousine type car. Comes the modern day Führer himself, who's played by Udo Kier. And I'm sure Beef has watched a lot of films with Udo Kier in, right?
I've watched a couple, I think.
Flesh of Frankenstein, the Andy Warhol movie, where he
Wait, Andy
he's
Warhol?
a necrophiliac.
Yes.
Andy Warhol did movies?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, shit.
Yes.
Okay.
I've seen
some real long ones.
Blood for Dracula and Flesh for Frankenstein, and I think. Oh, I've seen Ace Ventura: Pet Detective, Mark of the Devil. Of course, I've seen that. I have a friend who he did like visuals for like gigs and stuff, and he went by Mark of the Devil because his name was Mark, which is so fucking cool.
Jesus,
he's in Suspiria.
He was. What about The Kingdom, the Danish series?
I haven't seen that.
By Lars von Trier.
Have you seen Johnny Mnemonic though?
Yes, of course I have. In The Kingdom, you get to see Udo Kier's head come out of a lady's vagina as he's like birthed from her.
Cool.
His,
my God, if my name was
head.
Barbara, he's been in a film called Barb Wire, which is the most fucking. It's got Pam. It's got but it's Pamela Anderson in it. It's a Pamela Anderson film.
Bamela.
He's been in a lot of films.
He's been in a lot of films.
Yeah.
Yes, including 100 Years of Adolf Hitler.
What?
Oh my God. Well, he is German, so.
Oh, fair enough. Fair enough.
If you need a German man in your films, he's one of the people you go to.
Kind of like Mads Mikkelsen, because he's Danish, I guess.
What?
Is he Danish? Yeah, he's Danish.
Right. If you need a Danish man for a film.
Yeah. I've seen like the
If
actual
famous things in Danish history, such as.
If you need a Danish man in your film, you put on a stupid accent.
I can't.
That's Dutch. That's Dutch.
That is Dutch.
Same
that is
fucking thing. Oh my God. Sorry, Danes. Sorry, Danes. Sorry, Danes. I love you, Danes.
Denmark.
Anyway, they horrible Nazis take the helmet off of this astronaut, and to their shock, surprise, horror, it's a black man. It's an African American gentleman astronaut, and this is probably the first time I've ever seen such a man.
No, they.
No, I think it would have been because these people, the Nazis went to the moon in 1945 and they've been living there and procreated. So everybody in 1945 would probably be dead. And it would be their children and their children's children. So, I don't think they brought any black people to the moon.
Yeah, I don't think they would have. I don't think the Nazis would have, no.
No.
Okay, we cut to the White House. This is where we meet our POTUS on a... What's it called, that machine?
Is it a elliptic machine or you?
Yes, it is.
An elliptical machine?
Elliptical trainer, which I had and used twice.
I
where
actually
is it
quite
now?
like them.
Gave it to someone else.
Nice.
Okay, well, I'm sure they've used it twice and then given it to something else as well.
Yeah.
Biff is she's very planet friendly, just always recycling, always making sure
it was too heavy just to put in the bin.
Oh, I see.
Couldn't take it to the tip myself, so I was like, someone else could come and get it.
As mentioned before, our POTUS looks a lot like Sarah Palin, like deliberately so. I don't think do we ever learn what her name is? I'm not sure we do.
Oh, it doesn't really matter, honestly.
It's not important. She's the president.
Oh my god, I just noticed.
Madam President.
Oh, fucking hell. Because I try to have the movie running on the side, but when she was talking to Adler, whatever his name is, there was like two little girls playing hopscotch, but in the shape of a swastika.
Yes.
I didn't even notice. God.
When in the movie is this?
I don't know. Oh, this might be maybe the director's cut. It's when she's talking to Adler. It's when the guy is on the James Washington is on the loose, and she's talking, and the teacher is talking to Adler.
Jesus Christ! Right? Okay.
Yeah, but this is the thing. I don't know. Well, Booth seems to recognize it, so I don't know what.
I may have just read it.
Okay,
I didn't write it down, so.
So there's two versions of this movie for anyone who's like may have watched the
She watched the wrong version.
Well, I watched the director's version.
It's called the Dictator's Cut.
The Dictator's Cut.
I explicitly said don't watch the Dictator's Cut.
Yeah, he actually did say that.
Watch the 93-minute one.
I was gonna watch the one on Plex. But then the ads were really pissing me off, okay? Because it was 4 ads I didn't even know how long. It felt too fucking frequent. So I was like, I've had enough. And then I went somewhere else. I went into
they were all in the wrong sort of aspect ratio. They were like TikTok ads that were played, so they stretched out into some ridiculous shape.
It was making me so angry. And then like the volume started blasting as well anytime an ad came on. So I was like, oh god.
So then it started blasting.
Then they started blasting. But yeah, sorry, continue, Simon, as you were.
Right. Our Sarah Palin POTUS is using her elliptic machine, and she's on like the holophone or something. There's a hologram of her campaign manager, who I thought was dressed like Sansa Stark when she's Queen of the North.
Amazing.
Like she's got feathers on her shoulders in black.
So I thought, well, actually, that's a good point. Yeah, she kind of does, but she also gives me Hunger Games District 1 vibes, especially later on in the movie when she's on that ship thing.
The spaceship.
I find it hilarious that they thought that people would still be using Skype in the that's the futuristic thing about this. They're using, it's not just a full body hologram that is absolutely massive.
Mm-hmm.
They're using Skype.
God.
Yep.
Could you just imagine she's on just a call? just random things. Fuck's sake.
I can't, man. I don't know why that horn gets me. It's so good.
POTUS is very unhappy that the 2 astronauts have disappeared because this was supposed to be like a massive publicity stunt for her.
Yeah, she doesn't even know.
Backfired.
She doesn't even know why they were sent there to begin with. She's like, why? Why did we do this? What? Why? Why did we send them up there?
Yeah.
And then the dude gives her a very interesting explanation.
Yeah.
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 You want to say?
I mean, what?
Well, she says, "Why did we?" Oh no! Oh my god! I don't know if this is in the Dictator's Cut. Okay, so she says, "Why did we send them to the moon? Like, what was the point?" And then he says, "Because one of them was black."
Yeah, no, he does say that.
Okay, he does say that. All right, and he says, and she goes, "Yeah," and he's like, "It would look good." Like, which is pretty monk-ass, right? Like,
well, she's got to get the African American vote, I guess.
Right.
Yeah, that's the point.
Of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we go back to the moon, and our teacher or Mond Jugend Unterführerin is showing the class The Great Dictator, and she calls it one of the world's most famous short films.
Yeah.
Which, interesting.
Yeah.
Because it's not a short film. Spoiler. And she says that it illustrates Chaplin's wish that one day the entire world be held in the great Führer's wise and gentle hands. Of course, it's being used as propaganda, and she just is looking at it at face value for just like a few minutes of the whole film.
Yeah.
Yeah, rough.
Yeah.
Oh, and then she's interrupted by the the Nachrichtenübermittlungsüberführer, the message transmitter senior leader. It's weird that I tripped over the English word and not the German one. Adler, Herr Adler, he calls her his sweetheart, mein Herz, and he informs her that her expertise is required somewhere.
Yes.
Blowjobs.
But right from the off, there's a weird vibe from him, especially just calling. I'm like, are they a couple? What's
There's
the deal?
a weird
What's the
vibe
deal
from
here?
him.
This Nazi guy. There's kind of a weird vibe from him. I can't quite put my finger on it.
He's a bit of a bad boy.
Washington is still like held captive, and he's trying to like befriend them because he realizes they're speaking German, and he goes, sauerkraut, yeah, I love sauerkraut, Volkswagen, and then he says Wohlvergnügen, which isn't a German word, and I think he actually says, hey, German words.
Amazing.
And they respond by just smacking him to the ground.
Could have gone Rammstein, you know.
One of the songs did sound like Rammstein at one point. Later on in the film.
Was it during a battle?
No.
Oh, he does say fire
frei. Which is fire at will.
It was a scene where the Führer, the current Führer, is like just messing around with his like map table, and there's like a bunch of like German talking / singing that sounds like Rammstein.
Right.
Yeah, so that might be.
I wonder if that's in the dictator's card.
Yeah. It did sound like Rammstein, but anyway.
So, after being smacked to the ground, Washington just grabs hold of his helmet and just knocks over like 5 Nazi officers.
Pretty impressive.
Like they're dominoes.
Yeah.
Throws the helmet at Udo Kier and then just makes a run for it. He does like a leap of faith and he jumps really, really far because, of course, they're on the moon and gravity is like 1/6 that of Earth.
How are they breathing?
Yeah, don't worry about that. Don't worry about it. And don't worry about how on the spaceships later, everyone seems to be under the effects of gravity, normal Earth gravity. Don't worry about that either. Okay.
All right. No worries.
He manages to survive a long fall, and but then something knocks his head. You know, he's on like a rotating platform or something, and his head gets bonked, and he falls much, much further and crashes through a pipe into a ventilation duct. And would you like to describe how he's described over the tannoy or public address system?
I don't even.
How they just.
I don't know whether I wrote it down. Did I write it down?
Is it okay to say the word Negro in any context?
Oh, yeah.
That's the more important question.
I think because you're saying that it.
So I'm quoting.
You're quoting something.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Okay.
Well, the doctor does call him that at some point too. So
yeah. It comes up a few times. They describe him as a male Negro, unarmed but possibly angry. Just possibly angry. Of course he's angry. You captured him. What the fuck?
Yeah, but that is just like that's just like the vernacular around like black people in general, especially when it's like I mean we're talking about Nazis here, so they're like, yeah, he's unarmed, but he's still dangerous. It's like, well, no, he's not. Like you guys have like captured him and fucking beat him into submission, and he's like trying to flee from you. Yeah, he's angry, all right.
Adler is walking Renata, which is the name of our teacher.
Renata Richter.
Richter, yes, she's going to meet Washington and talk to him, presumably, but he's escaped. They don't quite realize this yet. And a ventilation grate just falls on top of Adler, knocks him out, and then Washington falls out of it.
Kind of love that scene.
What amazing coincidence that he was right there above them.
Well, he was calling her a knockout as well. Adler was calling her a knockout while that.
And then he gets knocked out.
Yeah.
I didn't even. Yeah, it's terrible. It's terrible, isn't it? This film thinks it's very funny. Yeah. So Washington asks for a way out, but Renata is just so shocked. She's just speechless, just staring at him. He opens a door, but unfortunately it leads to the airlock. So it is a way out. However, it's a way out to where there's no oxygen. He starts opening the second door, but she's just run in and tries to stop him. It's too late. The airlock opens out. They're both blown outside. Washington manages to grab onto the exterior door. Renata grabs onto him, and her clothes will fall off.
Yeah.
This was the bit where things were starting to look up for me. I'm thinking, it's going to be really, really fucking daft if her clothes are coming off. It's going to be proper stupid movie, right?
Okay.
Oh, and it was. It definitely was.
Not in the way that I wanted it to be.
Oh, no. Okay.
But, her skirt falls down to her ankles, her blouse has come undone somehow, and her jacket. You can see her undergarments, and they're all, purest white, which I'm sure is some sort of commentary.
Oh, my God.
I don't know. Anyway, Washington manages to throw her back inside. They close the exterior door, and they're saved. But then the interior door of the airlock opens, and Adler immediately just punches Washington, and then pulls a gun on him. He's about to fucking shoot Washington, but Renata says they need him for testing, and then Washington argues for his life, saying that he knows the president, and that's important because that comes up later.
Yeah,
he's friends with the president. They interrogate Washington in the doctor's lab, presumably.
Dr. Richter.
That's weird because Renata's surname is Richter.
Crazy.
That's crazy. What a coincidence. Well, there's a lot of inbreeding, I imagine.
Yeah.
Between all these Nazis on the moon.
There's Nazis on the moon.
No!
Yes.
Adler's convinced an invasion is imminent and that Washington and Sanders were shock troopers, like a first force that was sent. But this isn't the case at all. The more important thing is the doctor discovers Washington's smartphone that Washington tells him is a computer. I don't know why Washington is just offering this information.
Because he thinks that he's so cool that he's got this awesome little tiny computer.
He doesn't say what it is. He doesn't say, it's my iPhone 5 or whatever.
Well, he can't say that because then...
What he should have said is a Samsung Galaxy, whatever the fucking one I've got.
Yeah, it's the latest phone to come out.
Oh my god. The doctor points at these giant machines, and he says, "This is a computer," and it's just all these wheels and bulbs flashing
it's
and whatever.
The first computers, of the 1940s, with the Enigma machine and all that. At Bletchley Park.
Actually, I think you'll find the first computer.
So you can go to Bletchley is in Milton Keynes, and it's where I grew up most of my life. So I was taken to Bletchley Park to see the fucking Enigma machine and all these computers, all the time.
Did you get your jammy little fingers on it?
Isn't that
we're not allowed
the
to.
Alan Turing thing?
Yes.
Or is that... Oh, it is. I thought he was from a different part of the...
I thought you said Alan Shearer, and I was like...
No, Alan Turing.
Oh my fucking god.
And you get to see how big the hard drives were. They were massive. They were so cool. Anyway.
Yeah. We go to the not the UN and the Secretary for Defense of the United States is trying to explain that everything's fine with the moon landing. Sure, a couple of astronauts have gone disappeared, but don't worry about it. And then someone asks him if the reason that they went back to the moon is to locate a source of helium-3. And the secretary laughs it off and he's like, you just made that up. Helium-3, never heard of it. What?
But surely the film Moon had to come out as well by that point in time with Sam Rockwell.
Maybe.
And
Duncan Jones film, right?
Yes.
But when he made good films.
Remember that?
Ooh. It's a good film, Moon.
I like that. I love it. Watch that.
It's not
instead.
a film I ever want to watch again, though.
I've watched it a couple of times and I thought...
Also, Kevin Spacey.
Oh, yeah, he's in it.
I mean, you never see him.
The spicy
He's the voice.
Meatball.
Yeah. We see the presidential headquarters, the campaign headquarters, for her re-election. And there's a giant banner, and it says, Black to the moon, yes, she can.
Oh, fuck's sake.
And it's POTUS with Washington, of course. The campaign manager's very upset, and this is a parody of that scene from Downfall, which everyone's seen from the memes, where Hitler asks, only like the head of things to remain and everyone else can leave, and people are standing outside in the corridor. He shakily takes off his glasses and he calls everyone idiots and stuff. Has a rant. She does that. She does that scene.
Oh my god, I didn't even clock on. Oh my god.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I didn't even clock on. Yeah, but that's yeah. Wolf.
Also, we get little teases of Wagner playing, which is weird because her name is Wagner.
Oh shit.
But apparently it's not. Her name is not Wagner because of Wagner.
It's Wagner because of something else.
Yeah, which we'll get to when we get to our trivia section at the end. Adler pays a visit to Renata, and oh boy, this scene.
It's so romantic. I love it.
Oh. So he basically, instead of like asking her out on a date, or even getting a ring and proposing to her, or anything at all, he has a confirmation of their DNA from the Department of Racial Purity.
We've all got that.
Which tells him that he's a 97% genetic match with Renata, which I looked up, and apparently it's the same percentage humans have in common with orangutans.
Wow.
So you could just do it with an orangutan and it'd be fine.
Yeah. He uses the phrase, science demands us to unite physically, which that's ick, new ick unlocks. What's the meme?
Yeah. New ick.
Yeah. He reveals to Renata that he plans to replace Wolfgang as the Führer, and he's going to conquer the Earth, and they're going to raise 100 million Aryan babies.
Sounds reasonable.
And I put in my notes, well, it's good to have goals, I suppose. Christ. So, yeah, he has a vision.
Why do they keep saluting Hitler? Well, does he salute Hitler? Yeah, he keeps saying Hitler, but instead of the other guy's name.
So I think it's because he doesn't accept this guy's Führer.
Yeah.
And also the guy's surname is really weird.
Is it a Wolfgang or?
That's his first name. I didn't even write down what his surname was.
No.
What a fucking badass name.
Wolfgang. Should I just look it up and try and pronounce it?
Yeah, go on.
Okay. I think my German is about, the pronunciation is about 50% there. Kurzfleisch.
Kurzfleisch.
Yeah. Horrible name.
Yeah.
That's horrible. Sorry if that's your name, if anyone listening has that name. It's revealed that the space Nazis have a Wunderwaffe, a wonder weapon, named, oh Jesus, Götterdämmerung, Twilight of the Gods. This is a reference to Wagner. There are many. There are so many in the film. Like there's like 4 ships that are named after like 4 of the cycles from The Ring. Not related to Lord of the Rings. They've been working on this super weapon for 40 years.
The fucking
and now
Death
they have
Star, basically.
Pretty much. Now they have Washington's smartphone. The computer power is 1,000 times that of all of their biggest computers put together. So this will somehow power the ship.
Yeah.
I mean, the ship is actually powered by the helium-3, it's revealed. But computer-wise, they needed something so that all the systems could work. Do you know what? I don't believe this plot point is. It sounds bullshit to me. It sounds bullshit.
This is the bit that sounds bullshit.
Yeah.
Just saying it out loud, it just sounds nonsensical. Okay. So Herr Doctor connects the phone to their systems, and the machinery whirs into life, which I'm not quite sure how that works, but then it immediately stops because the battery runs out. And Adler says to the Fuhrer that he will visit Earth and obtain more smartphone devices.
Did you want to mention that he invented the universal systematic binding cable?
Or USB.
Yeah.
It's such a bad joke. My God.
I actually didn't mind that joke.
Really?
Not too much. It didn't make me laugh, but I was like,
Did you chuckle? Did you exhale through your nose?
through my nose, yeah.
I smiled. I cracked a smile. A wry smile came from my face.
You smirked.
Also, they keep playing some sort of like, I mean, I guess that's the point. Some like comical, cartoony fucking Addams Family chime whenever the doctor's on camera. I don't know if you noticed that. It's like some weird little Halloween, like Addams Family chime when he's like
a leitmotif, you may say.
Yes,
just German word.
Oh,
yeah. So we have Washington in his interrogation cell. Propaganda is being blared to him through speakers. Pretty sure that's the big man himself, the old H-dog. Adolf Hitler.
Oh, right.
Renata visits and turns off the speakers so she can talk to him. She asks what his name is, and then she asks, "What is wrong with your skin?"
Oh my God.
And he replies, "You have met a brother before, right?" She lowers her head and says, "No, I'm the only child." Now that I found funny.
Yeah. Did you see that James Washington has one blue eye?
Yes.
At this point.
Did.
Oh shit! I didn't even notice.
He has a one blue eye, and I was thinking that's very strange. Did he have that before?
Oh my God.
Yeah, I did notice that because I was like, yeah, did he have that before? But then later on, I was like, oh, okay.
It's coming right up in the next scene. I think this scene goes on a much longer in the Dictator's cut. I think this is one of the scenes that got massacred.
Yes.
Renata says that Herr Doctor is her father, and then she tells Washington to just act like a Nazi, and then she just wanders off.
Play a Nazi.
She does a little salute as she leaves, which was weird. Yeah. Why would you do that to... She doesn't know better. She's very naive. Adler prepares to leave for Earth. He's never been there before. Renata offers to come along with him, and he turns her down. And then he forcibly kisses her, and it's really, really gross. Like he really forces himself on her for that kiss. Then the Herr Doctor has a wheelchair covered with a sheet, and he's got a little present. He whips off the sheet, and Washington is there, sitting down, and his skin is now white as snow, and he is blue of eye, and his hair is
blonde of hair.
His hair is white. What I'd say his hair is white more than blonde.
He went a bit too hard on the albinizer.
Yeah,
injections.
Yeah, I think he had to turn it up real high so it would have any effect. And then we have the little scene where he struggles to try and not do the salute, which obviously is a reference to Doctor Strangelove. Yeah, and it's a bit weird. But then he stands up and does the full salute. But then he looks over to Renata and smiles at her. But it's like
he does.
He's not been completely. He's not been brainwashed. He's still himself.
He does the shoulder brush. Like, piece of cake.
Yeah, I got this. So they go aboard the flying saucer to head to Earth. Washington is taken with them because he knows the president. And they land in upstate New York City.
New York City.
Which I thought it would be upstate New York, not upstate New York City. But I don't know enough about American geography to correct that. And neither do you. Either, I
don't know what you're saying. I don't know what you're saying.
Okay, like,
that's
what? Fine,
what's the difference?
We don't know what's going on in general, do we?
That's true, actually. That's a very good point.
What even is today?
I don't know. I've lost count.
They land on a hill overlooking New York City, and Adler demands Washington take him to the president. It's revealed that Renata stowed away on board, and as Adler tries to argue with her and saying a woman shouldn't be here and that kind of thing, she kisses him to distract him. Oh, and then a lady farmer just opens fire and kills one of the Nazi goons.
Farmer,
yeah.
Farmer.
She looks kind of rednecky, which is very weird because this is just outside of New York.
Well, she's growing weed.
Yeah, she's growing weed.
What do you mean?
She's growing weed.
No, it's like wheat or something.
Yeah.
No, it's wheat.
Weed. Yeah.
She's a weed farmer.
She's a weed
I didn't
farmer.
even catch that.
Really?
Oh my God. I didn't even catch it.
The fact that Washington picks up a leaf and sniffs it and looks at it.
Yeah.
Well.
I was staring at the lady with the gun.
Oh my God.
And then obviously there's a bunch of scenes that have been cut because suddenly they're in the middle of New York City and it's daytime. And I'm like, what? What the fuck? Adler sees a Volkswagen camper van and he says, ein Kleinbus.
Ein Kleinbus. A little bus.
And he's going to steal it. He's going to fucking steal it. Washington attempts to talk to his fellow African Americans, but it doesn't go well for some reason because they just see a white man. He looks like an albino African American though, right?
He does, yeah.
This isn't white chicks level of makeup either. Have you seen White Chicks, Simon?
Christ. I don't think I've seen it.
What a fucking film. What a
I've
film.
seen clips and
what
it
a
looks
film.
absolute dog shit.
It's amazing.
Put it on a list. Put it on your list. Come on. I almost called you G. Put it on your list, G.
G, put it on your list. I'm not doing it.
Yeah. Okay, I'll get right on that.
Adler just steals the camper van, and this is when Washington realizes that he's changed. He says, "I look like a motherfucking polar bear."
That's right.
And then the camper van pulls up outside the campaign HQ, presumably, and they kidnap Wagner. But Washington gets thrown out. She sort of kicks him out. So they've lost a Washington, but they've gained a Wagner. So a lot is happening in like 2 minutes. All of that happened.
Yeah.
Like,
There's a lot.
It all happens very quickly. And so now they're in like a warehouse or somewhere, and Wagner is like tied to a chair, and Adler is explaining who he is. He says, "I'm Commander Klaus Adler of the Fourth Reich. We are based on the moon." And he goes into a speech. He says that he's going to make sure that the good times end for the bad people, and they will be eliminated. And Renata's shocked by this. Eliminating people? This isn't what the Nazis about.
News to her, isn't it?
Yeah. And then she says what it is that she teaches the kids in the school. And it's all about how great and wholesome the Nazis are, how they love everyone. And, you know, it's awful. It's really awful. And I deliberately didn't write it down so I wouldn't repeat the words she says. Because I don't want anyone clipping that.
It's misinformation.
Yeah.
Of the highest degree.
She's been fed propaganda her entire life, and she thinks that the Nazis are a force of good. Yeah. Wagner is drawn to Adler, and she's kind of flirting with him a bit, it feels.
She loves him. I mean, to be fair, though, he is 6'6", and he's wearing a really snazzy uniform.
Oh my God, that's all it takes, honestly.
It is.
That's all it takes.
I was thinking the way through, like, this is wrong.
Well, that's
She's
how
been
I
untied.
felt about their outfits at the beginning. I was like, oh, I shouldn't
like them so much.
I shouldn't like these outfits, and I shouldn't.
They look like characters from Attack on Titan. How they're dressed.
No. There's a lot of Star Wars imagery in this too. Like especially when they're on the base, right?
And the battles and stuff.
Oh yeah, God, yeah, the battles. Yeah.
I thought it was more like Battlestar Galactica.
No! Well, fucking in Star Wars, like, the Sith are basically space Nazis, right? And all the Empire are space Nazis.
Yeah, the Empire.
The Stormtroopers.
And the First Order.
Yeah, so...
Oh my God, the First Order.
Exactly. Oh, fucking hell.
It's very subtle. If you look carefully, the First Order resemble the Nazis. You really have to look, though. It might fly over people's heads. I don't know.
Yeah, but when they show it like this, from the Nazi perspective, like, you know, in this manner, which is what Iron Sky has done, it's pretty, it looks very... Ooh.
So Wagner is obviously drawn to how he's dressed, the natty uniform, much like G-Star Games is.
What?
She also just likes some of the words that he's...
It was me.
Sorry, Sophie.
Fully owning up to that one.
She also likes his manner of speaking, the words that he's saying. And then we cut to the White House. She walks into the Oval Office with our two space Nazis, and they've had a makeover. They got new haircuts. They got snazzy uniforms. The swastika has been replaced with a V, which I think is for her name, right?
Yeah. I think in film terms it is.
Wagner's first name begins with a V. Vinny? Something?
It's Vivian.
Vivian, right? Oh my God! No, let's not get into.
It's for later.
Yes. Renata gives a long speech about the Nazis basically being the cure to the illness of the world and that kind of thing.
Jesus Christ.
And it goes on and on and on and on and on and on. And then we see the POTUS campaigning using the same rhetoric to people at rallies and such. And she even uses the Nazi typeface on her posters now, the Fraktur typeface. And I would say it goes down a Sturm with the voters. It's German for storm. I'm sure you could figure that out. So that's pure satire right there. How the rhetoric of the Nazis really works with people. Yeah, great. 3 months go by. 3 months have gone by. Washington is a crazy homeless man ranting on the streets. He says, "Hey, the moon Nazis are coming!"
I love it.
Yeah,
He's like a doomsday, like the end is nigh type guy.
Yeah, he's got his placards that he's holding up, and he's ranting and raving to passers-by. And who should walk by but Renata, who recognizes him. And he hugs her and he picks her up. And then he goes, "I got one! I got one, a space Nazi!" And then they fight. And then the cops arrive.
Yep. They come to...
A cop on a Segway.
I know,
my
it's so
God.
funny. It's so funny.
Have Segways died out yet? I'm sure, surely they
I
have.
think they still use them in airports and places like that.
Yeah,
Malls.
that's the only place
Malls.
where I think it's like sort of acceptable to have a Segway. But like, I just remember like at one point they were, on the streets and just very popular, and it's like, oh God, it's so wanky. Please.
The next scene is the bit that made me laugh.
It's really funny. It's
Yeah,
really funny.
this is
They're at the
the
police
joke
station.
Of the movie.
Do you want to say it? Have you got the dialogue?
Yeah. They're at the police station. They've been taken in. They're sitting down. They're being interviewed by a policeman. And he says, let me get this straight. You are a formerly dead black model who is now a living white hobo after spending a weekend on the moon. I laughed. I thought that was really, really good. And he was like, yeah. And
yes, that is correct.
yes, that is correct. Yes. Yeah.
Well, good. I've been listening then. That's yeah.
Yeah. And then does he like ask her, "Is this true?" or something? And she says yes.
Or no, he says, so James Washington turns around and he says, "Ask her, if I was on the dark side of the moon on like a Nazi base or something." And then the cop just sort of like does a double take. And then he goes, "Is this true?" But like says it in the way that James says it. And then she's like, "Well, yes, it is true."
So they let go. The police don't want to deal with this bullshit. They let go and they're walking along the street. They're walking and talking. And Renata doesn't understand why Washington's so angry. After all, they made him white. They cured him.
Great.
Washington explains that he's been robbed of his race, his identity, his career.
Yeah, because he was a
Everything's been taken
model,
from him.
which is what I found funny about him and his role in the whole like moon landing thing as well. Like, he's not even an astronaut, but they just took him up there because he's
he's a beautiful black man, and they needed to put his face on posters.
Yeah, it's like,
basically,
what the fuck,
man? Yeah. Anyway, the cinema that they're standing outside just so happens to be showing The Great Dictator. Isn't that a crazy coincidence?
That's fortuitous, isn't it?
Yeah.
So they go in to watch it, and it lasts 125 minutes. And Renata, of course, doesn't know that it's that long. She thinks it's like a 3-minute short film or something. And they come out, and she's stunned, and they complain. They're like, "Oh, that was so long. It's such a long film." But also, her eyes have been opened up.
Yeah.
It mocks Hitler. This film actually mocks Hitler.
Gasp.
And she also explains that to her, the swastika is a symbol of love. And she sees a bunch of neo-Nazis with swastika armbands and decides to go over and talk to them to show...
She says they're good boys.
Yeah, they're loving and caring good boys. And of course, the neo-Nazis are right next to this cinema that was showing The Great Dictator, which is, again, feels weird. And the neo-Nazi... Have you got what the neo-Nazi says to her? Have you got that written down?
No, I don't.
Okay. He says...
Oh, no, he says something...
Renata.
Oh, yeah.
He says, "What we got here? Blonde hair, blue eyes, nice rack. Even Hitler would get a hard on."
Right.
Oh, my God.
And, of course, a fight breaks out. Renata kind of kicks their asses.
Or kicks him right in the balls.
Yeah. I thought that's what the arse is. The arse is stored in the balls.
Front bottom.
Front bottom. I'm pretty sure
she probably does. Yeah.
She does. Well, I think he's like standing spread legged, and she just sort of like
Oh, that was his mistake.
Wallops him right in between the legs.
God, this fucking film.
Yeah.
Oh, and we go to the inside of a limousine where. What did I tell you? What did I tell you?
It's not my phone. It's my watch. Sophie got a new watch.
Sophie's got
She
a
got
new
a
toy.
smartwatch.
She got a smartwatch.
This dumb bitch got a smartwatch.
Hell yeah.
It's powerful enough to power up a war machine. One could say.
You don't want to say Wunderwaffe.
Wunderwaffe.
Isn't that the Gotterdammerung?
Wunderglocke.
Gotterdammerung. Yeah. Anything with an umlaut is an kind of sound.
It's kind of like the way that that Northerners say things. We should really have umlauts on our vowels because we're so fucking.
It's like in Norwegian when they have a line through a letter. It's
like the way that I say Sophie.
Sophie.
The O's and the A's are so northern.
Oh my god!
You need umlauts though.
You need to fucking change your name by Deep Pole and add an umlaut.
I might actually do that. Don't fucking start.
Fucking do it.
Because when I'm pronouncing things from from my Scandinavian friends, they're like, yeah, you got it pretty much spot on. I'm like, yeah, because I've had practice.
Every time he says it like that, it sounds like he's about to throw up.
I'm trying my fucking best to pronounce German. I'm only vaguely familiar with the language. I got a C in GCSE German almost 30 years ago.
I studied German, and do you know why? Because I wanted to learn the lyrics to Rammstein.
Oh,
I mean, literally, that's the best reason.
It was very cool. I am so cool.
You are.
You have me. Oh.
Du hast.
Du hast.
Oh my god. Okay, right. So we're in the limo. In the back of the limo, Wagner and Adler are talking, and they're both drinking. They're both drinking champers, I think.
Champers.
Yeah.
And Wagner thinks Adler is just constantly in character. He's never breaking character as being like this Nazi officer. And that doesn't put her off, that's a red flag from a lady.
Yeah.
He says to her, "One word from me and the invasion from the moon begins."
No,
and that really...
My favorite line from her, well, that whole exchange was, she goes, "You never break character, do you?" And then he says, "No, I can never be broken."
I can never be broken. She's drunk and she's flirting with him, and she drags him back into the limo when he's about to leave, and she starts making out.
Oh, she wants to fuck.
Then they walk into the campaign HQ and they're making out even more.
Mm-hmm.
She is down bad.
Oh yeah,
like,
this
really
Nazi
down.
officer. Adler is just about to insert his Schwanz into her. That's tail in German, but it's also a word for the penis.
Yep. Go on. What does he do next?
He's just about to insert himself inside of her and spray his pure Aryan seed into her womb space.
Jesus Christ.
Fucking hell.
But then he looks up. I think she says, "Oh, is the clown joining us?" And she looks up. He looks up and he sees Der Führer himself, played by Udo Kier, of course, just sitting in a chair watching them. With like a whole bunch of goons behind him.
While his pants are like falling, and he's got like red lipstick all over his face.
Oh, his lipstick is out, all right. Oh, my God.
What?
Oh, God.
A Nazi soldier grabs a hold of Wagner and she responds with, "Get your hooks off of me, you Kristallnacht piece of shit." Which I thought was a great line.
It's a bit of a... It doesn't make sense, but...
No. She's got some fucking one-lines, I'll tell you that. Like when she was like...
There's a fucking great one coming up. Don't you dare spoil it.
No, I'm talking about the one from before when she was like having a go at her employees where she calls them holistic pieces of shit. No, what does she call them? Hellacious? Holistic? Something like that. I don't remember. Head empty.
But it was a great line.
Well, she just gets very creative with her insults. She
got some of the best dialogue.
She does. She's
a great character all round, actually. She's probably my favourite character.
Yeah, agreed. Agreed.
Despite the fact that she just is like using Nazis.
Yeah. Not everyone's perfect.
Oh, we also get a phone call where we find out that the Zeppelin-shaped flagship spaceship Siegfried is headed for Earth. And I wrote down, alongside presumably the flagship Roy. Siegfried and Roy. Of course, it's another fucking Wagner reference. So, yeah, they can't resist it. Renata walks in. She basically just says she doesn't want anything to do with this anymore. She denounces kind of being a Nazi at this point. And just as our Monführer, Udo Kier, is about to execute Adler, someone, we don't see who, opens fire, killing the Führer and all the goons. They're all fucking shot dead by this amazing shot. And it's revealed that it's Wagner. She has this fucking giant gun. And she says, he fell for the old one last blowjob offer. God, Nazis are stupid.
Oh, fucking
Can
hell.
you? I mean,
I was convinced.
I just want to suck one last dick.
I was convinced that she got killed. So that was a nice.
If you're going to go out, go out doing what you love. That's what I say.
Speak on it, Queen.
Oh my God. Adler grabs the gun and attempts to shoot Renata and Washington, who's also there, but the gun's out of ammo, so they run off. Adler runs after them, but then he comes back in, kisses Wagner, and then steals her tablet, because of course he needs one of these smart devices. And then we get a wonderful scene, which I think is on the rooftop. Two space Nazis are looking at a centerfold in a gentleman's magazine.
Oh, it's
and
so
one of them,
good.
One of them says, they develop like ordinary women, but look, no hair here, nor here, like little girls. And the other one says, and when they do have hair, it looks like... And then the other says, the moustache of our great Führer! Oh my lord.
Spectacular.
Oh my lord.
But then he says he does get turned on by them.
Yeah.
Oh Jesus. Yeah.
One cares.
I wonder why though. Is it because it reminds him of the Führer? The old one.
Oh yeah, probably.
Yeah. Adler comes up on the rooftop and he explains to these weirdos that the old Führer is dead and he is the new Führer. He says, in German, obviously, long live the new Führer. And seconds later, Udo Kier just stumbles out, coughing up blood, like a lot of blood. He's somehow still alive, but then Adler, kicks him in the face, and that finishes him off. It's really brutal. I mean, I know he's the fucking moon Führer, but still, it's rough. And then we have the invasion of Earth. Thousands of flying saucers fly towards the Earth. They blow up the statue of Litterby. I'm about to shit my pants. It's pure chaos. But the POTUS is absolutely delighted because now she's a wartime president. And all first-time presidents get re-elected during wartime.
Yeah.
She says some real lines. She says, I thought I was going to have to bomb Australia or something.
And then
she says something very mean about Franklin D. Roosevelt.
She does, doesn't she? I was so like, what the fuck? This woman's such a bitch. First of all, wanting to bomb Australia, bitch.
Would anyone notice? How long would it take the rest of the world to notice if Australia got bombed?
Listen.
I'd be like, why Swan not posting the announcement of the new episode of YOMP on my Discord? Where's Swan gone? What's happened?
What about me?
Oh, yeah! Oh, yeah. The person I talk to almost every day on Discord.
If you
record a number of times with.
Well, I live in the UK, but I guess like it's the Thanos effect. If you like
you would
bomb
know.
Australia, I would.
Would you know?
I'd feel it down under.
Oh my god.
Like Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yeah, there's a disturbance in the force. Oh, fucking hell.
God. Jesus Christ. The US Air Force do their best to fight back. They send fighters out. New York City's a fucking war zone.
Yeah.
It's like the Battle for New York in the Avengers movie.
Yeah, Sophie would know that.
Yeah. There's flying saucers and planes shooting at each other. Buildings are collapsing.
They're dragging meteors to Earth to drop on.
Yes.
That's insane.
Yes.
The Meteor Krieg.
Meteor Blitzkrieg. They're going to bomb the Earth with these fucking meteors.
Mm-hmm.
I guess they're asteroids, actually.
Asteroid.
Asteroid.
Washington is back in the flying saucer with Renata, and he can somehow fly it, even though he's a male model.
But why male models?
I think he says, if it's just like Wing Commander, I should be all right. And he just randomly presses things and takes off.
Instead of just saying model.
Boof. No, it's a reference to Zoolander.
Oh,
come on, G. Dave Duchovny.
I did watch that not long ago.
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Remember the conversation they had in the graveyard?
Yes, I do actually.
But why male models?
Yeah. My bad. I'm sorry, Sophie.
No, it's fine. It's a really, like, what's the word? It's an obscure reference.
I always reference the what is this? A school for ants? When they're like looking at the little.
when a man undoes his trousers, you say, "What's that? A penis for ants?"
No. No.
Do ants even have penises or peni?
Don't think so.
I'm just gonna have to do a quick Google.
Do ants have penis?
Ants don't really have penises. Oh.
How do they make fuck?
I think they don't. I think they just appear. New ones just appear. Let us know if you know how ants have sex.
How do they make fuck? Let us know
in the comments or whatever. We go to the UN, and oh my god, that's wonderful. We go to the not UN, and they're trying to figure out whose flying saucers these are, and the North Koreans admit to it.
Yeah, nobody else has taken credit. Like, wasn't me.
And they all start.
Everyone laughs at them because this is what they always do. What they like, those North Koreans.
What they like.
Taking responsibility for everything. POTUS informs the council that the US have a giant spaceship called the USS George W. Bush.
Okay, that made me laugh. That genuinely got a laugh out of me.
Fuck me.
I don't know. I don't understand. I don't understand it. I know that George W. Bush was a president. Did he?
That's pretty much it.
That's it. It's just dumb. I just find George W. Bush to be a bit of a moron. So
he is very funny.
Yeah.
Watch this drive.
Yeah. So anything like calling that ship the George W. Bush was just so dumb. No, sorry,
Didn't he have
the
something to do with-
USS George
Yeah.
W. Bush.
Did he have something to do with the nukes? Like,
Probably.
Maybe.
More
'cause
than likely.
this has nuclear warheads on it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think he
yeah.
invented the nuke.
Wow.
I
Stop.
think. Do you remember
That film?
that
Do you remember
film?
that film
Yeah,
that came out
Barbie.
recently?
Yeah, Barbie came out, and they revealed that George W. Bush created the nuclear bomb.
Yeah.
For fuck's
And he
sake.
said, "New killer." It's pronounced "new killer."
For fuck's sake.
Right. So the USS George W. Bush is captained by none other than Wagner, and she's got a snazzy new outfit to represent that she's in space or something. I don't know.
That's the Hunger Games look right there. Like
Ah,
she's,
yeah.
Yeah,
she
that's the
looks
one.
proper
Very
district.
futuristic.
Yeah.
A bunch of spaceships all blow each other up and pew pew and all that, and Ride of the Valkyries plays because of course it does. And then who should arrive on the scene just as things are going bad for the USS George W. Bush? They need backup desperately. Who should arrive but the Australians in
Oh,
in the Dundee 01?
yes.
I laughed at that
name-
because I was like, G-Star is going to fucking love it. But
I
then,
Named after Crocodile Dundee.
oh, God.
See,
I pogged. I
the
really
famous
pogged.
Australian.
Yep.
And there's a bunch of other ships. Pretty much everyone has got a spaceship that they built in secret.
Yeah.
Everyone's also lied about, not building armed spaceships with nukes and stuff.
The British one is, I mean, the portrayal of the British character is absolutely spot on. Could not fault it.
And what about the Finn?
Oh,
The
oh my
Finns
God,
were the
the
only
Finn-
ones not to arm their
They did-
spaceships.
I
Yeah.
loved it. I was like, Finland didn't arm. But even Russia joined in, and everyone was like, "Wow, Russia, you're amazing."
Of course, the writer-director are Finns of
Yes.
this film. Maybe you get that feeling just from watching it. I don't know. So yeah, the tide has turned and things are not going great for the Nazis now. But Adler has returned to the moon with the tablet that he stole from Wagner, and he's going to stick it into a slot to power the space moon Nazis Wunderwaffe, the Götterdämmerung, their special super weapon. And it's just a really, really, really large flying saucer, basically.
Yeah.
Very big.
Renata anticipates that this is what he's doing, and so she and Washington fly towards the crater where this super weapon's kept. We have more space stuff. The Allies are all flying towards the moon. And then now they're on the offense. They're going after the Nazis on the dark side of the moon. Meanwhile, Renata and Washington are about to board the Götterdämmerung, and luckily there's a big map that tells them where everything is. So they just look at the map and they're like, "Oh, okay, you go there, I'll go over here." Like, it's so weird. Renata is going to go to the bridge, and Washington has to go and find her father for some reason, and then
Well, we know
attempt to
why.
disable the engines
No, we know why.
to un-Albanize himself.
Sorry, de-albanizer.
De-Albanize himself. So they got a plan, which is great. It's great to have that in a film. The good guys have got a plan to win. Wagner's just about ready to nuke the fucking moon, even though she's told that there are going to be innocent Nazi women and Nazi children inside the Nazi fortress shaped like a giant swastika. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
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 Adler phones up the doctor to ask when their super weapon will be ready, and he responds 3 months.
Holy shit.
Adler says, "You have 3 minutes,"
Yeah.
which I mean, imagine you have any job and it's going to take 3 months to finish, and someone says, "I need it in 3 minutes." What do you do?
That's fucked up.
The fuck do you even do?
That's fucked.
Luckily, well, not for him, Washington is stood behind him and he's got a wrench. And he says to the doctor, "Hey, Quack, remember me? The moon spook you turned into a snowflake."
Oh, Jesus Christ. I didn't
What a
even...
line!
Oh, my...
What a fucking line!
I didn't even, catch that first part. What the fuck?
Oh, my God.
Jesus.
Holy shit. And he whacks the doctor with the wrench.
Yeah.
Oh, that must have felt good for him to do that.
Oh, yeah.
Adler commands his men to start the helium-3 engines. So at this point, it's clear that's what's powering the super weapon.
The helium-3.
This rare isotope that's found on the dark side of the moon. And the giant super weapon ship, Götterdämmerung, takes to the... Well, not the air. It takes flight. It takes off.
Yeah,
and
what's in
Wagner sees this.
It's wedged in the moon, right? It's in part of the
this crater that it's in.
Yeah. And it's you can see all the shit falling off of it as it wedges out. Very impressive, I will say. Pretty damn.
Wagner wasn't impressed. She says he must have the smallest dick in the universe.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh my God.
I thought I thought the CGI was insane. You could tell in some points it looked a bit shit, but I think overall pretty impressive.
I would agree.
Yeah.
I would agree. It holds up pretty well.
It does.
It doesn't look too out of place in a lot of parts,
Yeah.
You can tell that a lot of it is green screeny, blue screeny, but
yes.
it's
yeah.
It's done quite subtly, and you'd think, yeah, it's fine for this sort of film. It's fine.
I think it helps when it's a science fiction movie.
Yeah.
It does. It really does. And I think the colour palette being very dark and grey covers up a lot of...
yeah. Agreed.
So
the Allied ships are just dwarfed by the size of this just massive Giga Chad of a ship. And the Allies attack, but the Götterdämmerung has a whole bunch of cannons that are ready to fire, and they're going to shoot at the Earth. But unfortunately, the Earth is behind the horizon.
Oh no, what are they going to do?
So they can't shoot it.
Oh shit.
Adler commands, "Let's make a brand new horizon." And then he says, "Feuer frei." And
then Rammstein should play.
Yeah. And his weapons guy refuses to do it, so he takes controls and just blows just a massive chunk off of the side of the moon. Well, I guess the side of the moon is just any part of the surface.
Depending on which way you look at it.
Yeah. Washington, he just grabs the fucking tablet, tries to remove it, but Herr Doctor has come to, knocks him to the ground, and has a massive fucking drill that he powers up. And he says, "We'll see." And you're like, "We'll see. See what, sir? See what?" Meanwhile, Renata turns a corner and she sees there's a bunch of space Nazis all talking about the engines.
And she's click-clacking
around.
around.
She needs a distraction.
In her fucking heels.
She needs a distraction. She sees there are speakers everywhere, and she sees something that looks like a fire alarm, but there's a sign in German that reads, "National Anthem, for motivation, break glass." Which is very funny.
Yeah.
The doctor is lowering the drill towards Washington's forehead. This is what he wanted to see. He wanted to see what a black man's brain looked like. He did mention this earlier.
Yeah, he did think that they had a smaller brain and that he wasn't understanding things because of it.
Yeah.
So he wants to fucking just
general
drive
sort
a
of
drill.
Yeah. General sort of the racist stereotypes that people had thought for years and years and years, and they'd pushed that narrative. That
Phrenology, of course.
Of course.
But thankfully, Renata's distraction, the doctor is obviously near a set of speakers. I think it's playing every single fucking place on this ship.
Yeah.
Is playing the Nazi anthem, which we've already discussed. And every single officer, every person on board just stands to attention and salutes, and some of them start singing along. It's like they've been like brainwashed into doing this, right? It's like a response they can't help.
Yeah.
It's like football fans.
Yeah,
You start doing a chant, they'll just...
Do you know what? I'm not even going to say what I was going to say because I don't want to compare any song to this. I just stopped myself in time.
I thought you were going to say I don't want to compare football fans to Nazis.
That's fine. That's fine. I mean, I'm sure a lot of them know. Do you know what?
Venn
Anyway.
diagram.
Oh my god, it's a circle. Right. Next to another circle, and they're barely touching.
Yeah.
So the doctor is distracted, stands to attention, salutes, and Washington kicks him square in the balls. And that must hurt.
Yeah, I think I
That's where
probably
the arse
would.
is
Yeah, a
kept.
little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
Kicked his ass.
Renata also
which is
sneaks
where
past.
the balls are stored, as we've come to learn.
Where are the balls stored?
In the arse.
Oh yeah, I thought arse was in the balls, not balls in the arse.
Arse
It
in the
depends
balls.
on a lot of factors, but sometimes you get both. So it's like a recursion of ass and
Oh
balls.
my god, that's
Oh,
Jesus.
fuck me.
I was just sorry. I was just thinking about that.
I'm visualizing it. It's so bad.
It's like one of those Cyriac gifs where it's just like a fractal of ass and balls all the way down.
I was thinking maybe Christopher Nolan could do like a movie about just us being in the balls and balls in the arse.
I don't think that's a good use of his talents, I'll be honest with you, but
Can you imagine his brother comes to him? Christopher, I wrote this brilliant script.
that's why he's the lesser known Nolan.
Was he one of the
my
Nolan
God.
sisters?
Jesus
I'm in
Christ.
the mood for dancing. Inception. I don't know any other films that I could put in there. And
pretty
Colleen
good.
Nolan went on Loose Women. And she was also on, right? The Nolan sisters, Simon.
Unsubscribe.
The Nolan sisters were on
Unsubscribe.
Filthy Rich and Cat Flap with Rick
They
Mail
were. He broke into the dressing room.
Yeah, and he put
tried on her dress.
and a lipstick.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Oh my
And he pronounced
god.
it for dancing and romancing.
Romancing. Well, it rhymes with dancing.
Yeah.
Romancing.
And they're from Blackpool, the Nolans.
That is insane.
Yeah.
Unsubscribe. Adler is on the bridge and he's driven mad by the fact that everyone is just stop what they're doing and they're standing to attention, saluting to the anthem. The Earth just starts to rise over the horizon of the moon, and he prepares to open fire with the cannons. I think he's cleared the room. All the other officers have gone,
Yeah.
which is convenient because Renata walks in with a gun.
Yes.
Um,
Ooh.
Adler says something like, what are you going to do? Shoot me? And I honestly thought she was just going to shoot him.
She should have done that. Would have been really funny. Done.
That would have been funny. But she doesn't. Adler kicks this gas-filled bulb that's got all these lights on. I don't know whether that's helium-3 or just something else.
Would be helium-3, I guess, if
what-
it's energy.
I don't know what it is. There's some glowing gas. He just kicks the thing and it distracts him and gas goes everywhere.
We never really get told what that is.
No.
If it was helium-3, though, I would
Wouldn't
love
it
it if
explode or something?
their voices went higher.
Oh,
Like, Well, I don't know if
Yes.
that isotope. I mean, it probably wouldn't just explode either. But I don't think helium-3 would.
Similar density, surely. Just a little bit.
Yeah, that's the
different.
important thing, isn't it? I guess. Yeah. Maybe if anyone's tried. I mean, I don't know if you can just get hold of helium-3. Helium itself is becoming more and more rare.
It's very rare.
So-
It's one of the rarest resources on Earth, actually. And we're just putting it in balloons, just like
That's
having
why
a
they
laugh.
call it a rare gas, because it's rare.
It's used in MRI machines, which is why it's so rare as well.
Ah,
It's
that's
used in...
probably more important than speaking like that for a bit.
I didn't even catch, but I guess
No,
that was
but-
the point.
Well, our listeners will be able to enjoy that.
yeah.
So he manages to easily overpower Renata. He grabs the gun, and they're facing each other. And Renata looks to the side. She notices that there's a hanging lamp that's sparking because the bulb has exploded from it. And she uses her charm against him, just tries to butter him up. And she says, "Oh, you're the real Führer." Oh, and then she salutes him. And he smiles and salutes back. His hand goes into the broken lamp and electrocutes him. And I was like, that is fantastic. That is absolutely fantastic.
Real.
What a moment.
Very
I want
smart.
to see more people die when they do that.
Yes.
I want to see more people die. Simon
Yes.
Lane.
Well, when they do a Nazi salute, yeah.
I will, yeah, definitely.
Simon Lane, 2018.
Yeah. Renata grabs the phone on the console, calls Washington, says, switch off the engines! But Adler is still alive, crawls towards her, and he's got a knife. He's got a knife!
He's got a knife, god damn it.
But that's okay. She manages to knock him back, and she uses the heel of her boot to just stab him in the forehead. And it's a fucking brutal death.
Hell yeah.
He's like staggering around, like circus music's playing.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Oh,
it's very weird.
It's Here Comes the Bride.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Well, that's ironic. I like that.
Hmm.
I didn't even recognize it. But yeah, now he's dead.
You wouldn't if you don't
100%.
get invited to many weddings, though, would you?
That's true.
Here
I don't.
comes the bride.
But it's played in a really weird manner.
It's like a
on
music
Wurlitzer
box
or something.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's definitely dead now. And as we know, every Führer only get 2 lives. Udo Kier's Wolfgang, he died and then came back to life and died again. Adler, he died, came back to life and died again. And oh no.
Oh, no.
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Anyway, Washington manages to remove the tablet from the Goethe Dalmudug and gets a massive electric shock that throws him backwards, and he flies back really slowly. And then at this point, I'm like, oh yeah, low gravity, huh?
Funny that.
Been a while since we've seen that, haven't
Yeah.
we? We've seen a bunch of people on spaceships, and they just seem to be under normal Earth gravity.
Yeah. Kind of weird.
But now we see the low gravity. It's like the filmmakers just realized. They're like, oh shit.
We didn't put
Right.
that in. Oh, my God.
Fuck.
Just put it in at the end, it'll be fine.
The Goethe Dalmudug loses power. All the lights go off on it, and it starts. What's the name for it when a ship goes down?
Sinks.
It sinks. No. Oh my
Was
god.
there? I don't because I watched the different version of this movie. Was there a scene?
Listing? Is it
The
listing?
listing is where it goes to the side. Capsizing is where it turns over on its top.
Oh Jesus. Sorry, G.
Where they this was before. When they were in the ships and they were like, oh yeah, time to fuck back.
They did say that.
He did say that, and then the woman who's dressed like a fucking Hunger Games civilian says, "Everyone take position around this fat phallus."
Yes.
I completely
God,
forgot
cringe.
about
This
that.
fat phallus.
Yep.
Because the ship does look a bit like a dick. The USS George W. Bush looks like a penis.
It does, yeah.
There
was like the Jaws theme at one point as well, or like a Jaws type.
This battle had a lot of Star Wars parallels to it. A lot of the
it's hard not to with a space battle. Really,
no, but they made like they music was very Star Wars, and so some of the ships made noises similar to TIE.
Stars War.
Stars War.
It made noises similar to TIE fighters. Some of them.
Oh, they did. Yeah,
they did. Yeah.
Good fact about that for later. Continue, Simon.
Did you guys have the scene where they were like arguing at the UN about how they? I'm not sure if we're getting to this point or not, where they were like talking about.
I bet you 100% you've skipped ahead.
Okay, all right. I'll let you.
100% you've skipped ahead.
You can continue.
Okay, so the super weapon, big spaceship, flying saucer the Nazis have loses power, and we see like Washington in an escape pod just shooting out just before it crashes onto the surface of the moon. Everyone applauds the POTUS at the not the UN.
Yeah.
Everyone's just pleased as punch. And she brings Wagner on screen on board the USS George W. Bush, and she reveals that there's a whole bunch of helium-3 in all these big silos everywhere. And the Secretary of Defense says, this is enough helium-3 to power the United States for 1,000 years. And then the POTUS claims the moon as American property.
This is American soil.
Typical.
Yeah, the flag. We put the flag down.
Typical.
And this is when a brawl breaks out in slow motion with the Star Spangled Banner playing.
I did like that.
Yeah,
I did like that scene.
That's the scene. Yeah.
I thought that was kind of funny because it was very, again, the CG and stuff was like pretty well done, and it didn't look like.
It reminded me a bit of Kingsman.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I think.
Yeah, at the end, the slow motion.
Yeah,
it's a good point.
Everyone's just beating the shit out of everyone else, and we'll see just how bad things get pretty soon.
Yeah.
Renata exits, I think, the wreckage of the Goethe Dämmerung, and she returns to her classroom, and it's filled with just a bunch of random people and some students.
Mm-hmm.
They salute her, and she tells them to stop and to never do that again. And then someone asks her, when will we return to Earth? She says, soon. But how? In peace. And I was like... I was applauding. I was in tears. I was applauding.
Did you stand up and clap? Standing ovation.
I stood up. I didn't salute, though. Yeah.
Dabbing tears from his eyes.
Dabbing? I thought you meant he was
dabbing,
like dabbing.
Just dabbing.
No, he's dabbing while he's dabbing a tissue on his eyes.
He's got one tissue in his hand, and then he does the dab, and he brings it over, dabs his eyes.
That's the only reason I
was actually doing the motion.
Nice.
That is amazing. I wish I could have seen that.
That is the only reason why you should have your hand in the air like that, to dab.
Yeah, or to hail a taxi.
Yeah.
Just make sure that you raise your hand really high.
Stop.
45-degree angle, bad. Well, I guess it's not 45 degree. Wait, it's 45 degree from the horizontal.
If you think about it, when you watch movies of Americans hailing cabs, their hand does go in that angle.
At the 135 degree angle. It's got to be 180.
Don't keep your fingers together as well. Just sort of wave a bit.
Splay your fingers.
Splay them.
Or just, do a thumbs up. You're
like
safe.
You're hitchhiking.
Yeah.
Hiya.
Washington is there in the classroom. He is back, and he is back to being black as well. He has the bottle of de-albanizer, which looks like a bottle of liquor, malt liquor, maybe. Which, I don't know if that's a joke that they're making.
It's de-albanizer.
A rando woman says to Washington and Renata as they passionately make out for winning the day. She just pops up and says, "Are you aware you're kissing a black man?"
Well, that made me laugh as well.
The fucking audacity of that bitch.
Well, she might not know.
What the fuck?
She might not realise.
Oh my god.
The Lion, the Witch, the audacity of this bitch.
And then we get the final shot of the movie where we pull away from the moon and the gaping hole, the big chunk that's missing from it now. And we see the Earth, and we see just some nice little plinky dots appear all across the planet with little ting noises.
Not interesting. What could that be?
It is, of course, nuclear war breaking out over the helium-3.
Oh, I didn't even notice that.
Yep.
Yes.
Oh my god.
So the Earth is kind of fucked. If you want to know what happens, you're going to have to watch the sequel to Iron Sky to learn more.
Oh my god.
Iron Sky: The Coming Race. Which has Udo Kier somehow returning. I'm not quite sure because he's dead how that happens. But I guess you got to watch it to find out. Maybe it's a flashback. And the actress who plays Renata returns.
Oh, funny.
And
not
Wagner is back. And Tom Green is in it. What the fuck? I'm sorry?
That's mad.
Excuse me? Tom Green is Donald. Okay, sure. Brilliant.
What, Donald Trump?
I don't think so. I don't think Tom Green... Well, who knows?
Well, there is an Iron Sky with Donald Trump, and it's called Trump. No, what is it called?
Let it be say.
Oh no!
God, no.
It's called like Trump Finds Out or something, or
I don't even want to know a single thing about this film.
It literally is called Iron Sky. Donald Trump Finds Out.
That does not exist. What are you talking about? That is not a film.
I'm dead ass right now.
That's a film.
That's a film.
Is it a short film? It's a short film. It's basically their trailer they made for Iron Sky 2.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Right.
Well, there you go. That's Iron Sky, everyone.
Oh, God, it's awful. Okay, I shouldn't have even looked at that. That was Iron Sky, yes. Simon, this was your pick. Would you like to summarize your final thoughts and give it a rating? Is it a good film? No. But is it a funny film?
Also no.
Also no. Okay, at times it's fine. It's fine. It's sometimes it's funny. Sure. Was it worth watching? No.
No.
Okay, maybe, I mean, it's quite a light film to watch. It's only 90 minutes. So we only wasted
an hour and 50 for me.
I can't believe you.
I fucking told you.
Well,
why do you always watch the fucking extended version?
She loves it.
I was
What's
watching
wrong
it.
with your brain?
No, listen, I was watching it and then the fucking ads pissed me off. And then I was like, okay, I'll go find another version. So I found the version and then obviously...
God, I wish we had another version of you.
What? And then I was
the longer version of G.
Yes, thank you, Sophie. And then because I'd already watched, part of this film, when I started to watch this other version, I was like, I don't know what
This is my final thoughts. This is the one part of the podcast where I get to speak.
What? Shut the fuck up!
Yeah.
Shut your ass up right now, you. All right, continue with your thoughts.
I think that it's an unusual, flawed film, and I think it's a future cult classic. I think in 20 years, people will look back at this film and go like, oh my God, this is crazy. This is amazing.
Do you think people react in the same way as Tropic Thunder?
No.
Where they're like, is this racist?
Yeah.
Is it okay to say that about Franklin D. Roosevelt? Probably not.
Probably not.
I mean, it's a bizarre film. Just the very concept of it is weird, and I think it delivers on the sort of elevator pitch Nazis on the Dark Side of the Moon. I don't think you could do that too much better than how they did it. 4 out of 10.
Oh, jeez. Yeah. Okay.
4 out of 10. You know, I just wanted a romp, you know? But
Cool.
failing that, I wanted to watch a film. Man. 4 out of 10. Simon Lane. G-Star Games. No, do you know what?
Yeah,
I want to
go
hear
with Sophie.
Sophie first.
Yeah, go with Sophie.
I want to hear Sophie first.
Okay, so some funny bits, but dragged in a lot of places. I like the outfits. Very good.
Did you know that G-Star Games couldn't get the original version of Iron Sky to work on her Plex, and so she had to watch the extended version of it because there was an ad that annoyed her.
Go away. Continue, Sophie.
4 out of 10.
Ooh. Okay.
So it was a film and it was watchable. I wasn't angry, which wow, you know, that's pretty good going for someone else's pick, innit?
So she gave Gatsby a 0.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Gatsby 0, Iron Sky 4 out of 10.
Yeah, I could watch it, you know, it was fine.
Fucking hell.
Yeah. This does seem like the silly, wacky sort of, you know, humor that you tend to.
It's fine. I was expecting more, but I didn't get more. That was it, you know.
Yeah.
And that's fine. Sometimes, you know, I'm never going to watch it again. So that's it.
It's like when you order something through Deliveroo and only one of the 4 items shows up.
Oh,
fuck's sake.
G-Star Games.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like what we said. It's like a Tropic Thunder satirical take on that kind of premise, I guess. Very silly, very outlandish. They had a couple funny jokes here and there, and the CGI was pretty good. I think
it's fine. It worked.
Yeah,
you know?
It worked. It's just not my kind of film, I guess. Like Tropic Thunder, you know, when it's done well and done right, and I don't know why I give Tropic Thunder more leniency, I guess, on this, because it is similar-ish, but because of maybe the big actors that were in it, maybe that's why I give it more merits.
Yeah, I totally see what you mean.
Yeah, because it's not like that far departed from, you know, but it is in some aspects. But yeah, it's like a 3, probably.
3.
Yeah.
Damn.
It's like,
well, we're all pretty much on the same, you know, page.
Have you guys ever seen or read, because I think it's based on a book, Man in the High Castle?
By Philip K. Dick, yes.
Yeah.
Or maybe
I Philip K. Dick? Yeah, it's an interesting sort of take on if the Nazis had won the war and had taken over America, and also Japan taken over America. So I think Japan has like San Francisco, like that sort of side of America. And then the Nazis have the other side, which I thought was done well up until a certain point. But yeah, it's kind of hit and miss sometimes.
Didn't have Nazis on the dark side of the moon.
Well, it's very... No, it didn't. But it's very interesting to see like how media interprets and how it translates the Nazi themes and Nazi stuff into like movies and TV shows like that. And I thought this was okay as far as, which is just so bizarre because it's a Nazi thing. So it's like, I feel so weird talking about, oh yeah, it was a decent Nazi, you know, piece of media. yeah, I don't know, bizarre.
It wasn't made by Nazis.
No, but it's just
That's the important thing.
It's still bizarre, right? In a way, it's still
It
very.
doesn't glorify the Nazis.
No, it doesn't.
It portrays them as just being old-fashioned, stuck, in the wrong time. Just
making fun of them.
Yeah.
The propaganda they use, their stupid beliefs,
Oh my god, there's an after credits scene.
I didn't see it.
I didn't see one either.
It's because it was playing on my left. So it's got the doctor strapped to the chair, and loud rap type music is playing.
Is the
and
doctor
he's screaming
black now as well?
No, he's not black. He's just strapped to the chair.
That would have been insane.
Yeah, he's strapped to the chair, listening to like intense rap music. And then it has the Das End.
So that wasn't on the version that I watched, because I did actually like leave it playing, and then it started playing the next one. I was like, nope, leaving.
Okay. No, it was
that's
literally
a Dictator's edition.
Yeah, it was literally right at the end. So there you go, fun little fact. Okay, moving on to some trivia. Yeah,
that's a good segue into the much like the good segue that cop was writing.
Yeah. Sure.
What have we got?
What do we got?
The original idea for this movie was conceived by Jarmo Puskala, who's is he the director?
No.
Let me just check. Was he the writer?
He was a writer. Timo was the director.
Ah. So the original idea came to him in a dream. Oh, he told the director, Timo, about this dream when they were in a sauna together.
Cool.
Fins. I fucking love fins.
The director replied he would only make this into a film if they got Udo Kier to act in it and Leibach to make the soundtrack. And they got both of those things. So
Hooray!
it got made and we got to watch it.
Whoa!
Yay!
I'm ecstatic.
The character name Vivian Wagner is not a reference to Wagner, but is a reference to a Finnish newspaper comic strip, Vivi and Wagner, about the relationship between a woman and a pig.
I'm a little bit worried about what that relationship is. It didn't say friendship, it says relationship.
No, it's a proper relationship. They're married.
God. Oh my god. Oh, well,
I don't know. I was just making it up. I will ask my Finnish friends.
So Atlas says Moon Nazi invasion on Earth begins at 5:45 a.m.
Oh god.
Yeah, which is exactly like the German invasion on Poland that triggered World War II. Isn't that a fun fact?
When the television news reports the attack of the flying saucers and buildings are all exploding, the clock shows 9/11, the whole scene.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Of course you would find the 9/11 fact.
Wow. I'm always fucking looking out for the next 9/11, G. You know me.
Stop! Stop. Oh my god.
The Germans' customs office would not allow the filmmakers to bring any Nazi costumes or regalia into Germany, but fortunately, the makers of Inglourious Bastards helped the director by revealing how they circumvented this issue. But we don't know what they did.
No,
it was illegal.
We don't know what they did because you can't. Like that would be very naughty.
Naughty.
Very, very naughty.
More than 10% of funding for this film came from fans.
Yes, it was partially crowdfunded.
Yeah, which is...
As was the sequel.
Oh. Interesting.
Yes. We got any other trivia tidbits?
One of the Nazi Zeppelins has registration code QN4751, which can be read as Kunazi, Moon Nazi in Finnish.
Jesus. The joke for the Finns there.
Yeah.
I love the Finns.
They're great. And
then that's a bloody fantastic language. That, like, German makes sense almost. You look at German, you think, okay, yeah, I understand like where they're getting this from. Finnish, that's like alphabety spaghetti.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. How many A's do they have? That's always a good thing when like how many A's someone has in their language.
Yeah.
It's too many. It's too many.
Anyway.
Should we move on to the box office?
Let's do that because I've got full bladder.
Oh, God. The budget was 7.5 million euro, and the box office was just over $8 million. So.
Wait, really?
That is. It barely made any money, if it did make any at all.
I honestly thought it was a lot more.
There's one of the reasons is the UK distributor Revolver Entertainment released the film in cinemas for one day in the UK.
Oh, okay.
Basically,
oh my gosh.
for like contractual reasons, they released it for one day, but then people got angry and they had to show it for a little bit longer.
We want to see Nazis.
It's outrageous that they tried to pull that shit. And the sequel had a budget of 17 million euro, and its box office was $400,000. It massively bombed. The main production company that made these films declared bankruptcy, and another production company involved with Iron Sky, called Iron Sky Universe, filed for bankruptcy not long after. So I don't think we're going to see any more Iron Sky movies.
Oh, I'm devastated.
I think they're done.
Oh, no. That's oof.
Rip.
Yeah.
And of course we ask, would it make a good video game?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sort of. I think Moon Nazis is a stupid enough concept to make into a video game.
Base and
Let me do my Donald Trump. Let me do my... Wrong. Iron Sky Invasion is an official video game based on the science fiction comedy Iron Sky. It's a space fighter simulator enhanced with strategic and RPG elements set in the universe of Iron Sky and expanding upon its foundations. Its highest critic score was 62%. It was not a good game. It sucked ass.
Okay, then.
So you're wrong, Booth, actually.
Of course I'm wrong. I'm always bloody wrong.
Oh, I'm sorry. I think they dropped the ball with that one. They dropped the ball.
I think the answer is it could make...
yes.
Well, they could have made a good film, but they didn't.
Would it make a good film?
No.
We always ask.
The answer is no.
No.
Holy
sadly.
shit. Okay, are we ready to roll for what we watch next?
Oh my gosh, I'm excited.
You excited? Have you made any changes to your lists?
No, actually.
Just a reminder, my list has In the Mouth of Madness, Heathers, Johnny Mnemonic,
Ooh.
Equilibrium, Krull, and Doom, starring Drain the Cock Johnson. G has Ocean's 11, Raiders of the Lost Ark, Sea of Love, Alien, Shutter Island, and They Live. And Sophie has Labyrinth, The Hidden, Rufus, Under the Silver Lake, Beverly Hills Cop 3, and Cemetery Man. And this is when we roll. This is when we fucking roll.
Let's go.
Get ready to rumble.
We're all here. Okay, so what number on each of our lists to narrow it down to 3? It's a 6. It's a 6. So it's Doom, They Live, or Cemetery Man.
Wasn't this the same last time?
Yep, we rolled 6 last time.
Oh, okay.
There's a literally 1 in 6 chance of rolling a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, or 5, or a 6.
Wow. What happens if we get Iron Sky again?
No, it's been replaced by Doom. We'll have to watch that.
I honestly wouldn't hate that. Like, I think that'd be fun.
Oh, is this what they call foreshadowing? Foreshadowing is a narrative device. A 1 or 2 will be Doom. A 3 or 4 will be They Live. A 5 or a 6 will be Cemetery Man, which I really want to watch, actually. It's a 3. We're watching a fucking G film. Which, like, she doesn't fucking win enough.
Yeah, but it's one that you guys will like. It's John Carpenter's They Live, so you can't be that mad.
That's true.
Can't be that mad. You can't be that mad.
And
we get to watch They Live. They Live.
John Carpenter's They Live. I don't know what year, but it shouldn't be that hard to find.
1988.
I fucking love this
They
film.
Live.
I'm gonna be honest.
Yay! Yes.
Like,
we get to watch Rowdy Roddy Piper.
One of the best fight scenes ever, for starters.
It goes on a long time. Oh, we get to see Meg Foster and her weird eyes.
I love it. Oh my gosh, it's one of the films that I will put on if it's on. You know, it's a good one. I like it.
It's a tight 94 minutes as well, which.
Ooh.
Applauding that.
Saucy.
Unlike our podcast, which is a very
2 hours,
loose,
11 minutes.
floppy.
Yep. Oh, God. Well, maybe some of this has been cut. Who knows?
No.
There's literally 10 minutes of G-Star Games talking about Plex and Sophie talking about cats.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Leave that in. Leave all that in, Sam. Leave it in.
Thank you very much.
Join us next week for They Live. This has been YOMP. You have been listening to YOMP. Yomper. A Pickaxe podcast.
Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye.
Goodbyes.
Hi. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of YOMP with me, Simon and G. And thank you so much to our patrons who give us a ton of money to be able to do this every week. We appreciate you very much, and we really appreciate the Giga Yomperteers as Cornelius Vander, Enki, I Am a Robot, Kyle, Lawrence, Luck, Native Blood, Scott, and Sleepy Deej. Thank you so much to you guys. You get a shout out if you're in that tier, but you also get other stuff in the other tiers, like notes and dumb stuff that we think about, and some cat pictures sometimes too. But otherwise, if you just carry on listening, like, I love that. We love that. See you next time. Bye.